Good evening, good afternoon, all of you. Good afternoon, all of you. Audible, right? Sound is fine? Okay. So one request I have is all of you should join at least 2 minutes early, so that the moment I start, I'm fine, Ilahin. Okay. The moment I start, I can start the revision. Okay. Otherwise, if you keep joining and I keep waiting, it is waste of time for everybody. So let us quickly revise what we did last class. We learned about something that every body has something called temperature, and the temperature tells you whether the heat will go from the body to the surrounding or from the surrounding to the body. Correct na? If the temperature of the body is more than the surrounding, heat will go from body to surrounding. And if temperature of the body is less than surrounding, temperature will come from surrounding to the body. Understood? Now this is a very important fact that you must remember. For example, students, our whole life is based on this fact. For example, sun is at more temperature or earth. Sun is at higher temperature or earth. Sun is at higher temperature, right? Everybody knows that because of the fusion reactions which you'll study in second PU. So sun is at higher temperature than earth. So the energy comes from sun to earth. Using that energy, plants will make food. You know that, right? Photosynthesis. And that stored energy, which is called glucose, that stored energy when human beings eat, once we eat, that stored energy in the plants in the form of glucose, it will be, when you eat, that will, the bonds of the between the atoms will be broken by the metabolic process, and that will release energy. Yes or no? Are you understanding this part? Okay, so imagine two people are pulling this string. So imagine these two people are pulling the string tightly. Will this go this side or will this go this side, or will they not go anywhere? If they apply same force, they will go neither side, because I am also applying 100 Newton, he is also applying 100 Newton. So there is a nice bond formed between these two. Correct? No? So now if I come with a scissor and I cut this, what happens? This will fly that side, this will fly that side. Correct? No? This may hit some walls, the walls may crack, glasses may fall down. All that is what? Example of what? Release of energy. Release of energy. So same thing, when you eat the stored energy inside our body, the metabolic process will break these bonds that releases energy. That energy which is released, chemical energy we say, that energy is what we use to walk, to run, to do our daily activities. So we are converting that energy into mechanical energy. Another way we use that energy, do you know what is that way? Besides walking and doing our daily activities, what is the other reason for using this energy? In what way we use this stored energy? One is to mechanical. Breathing and all are mechanical. No? The chest has to move to and fro. So anything that is moving around, that is mechanical. What is the other way in which we use that energy? Talk is also mechanical. My lips are moving, right? Her heartbeats are also mechanical. No, force is not energy. No, that metabolism process only. Hands, huh? Eye blinking. Okay. Well, it's temperature. To maintain our temperature. So we maintain our body temperature. I hope you know body temperature is always more than surrounding temperature. Yes or no? Our body temperature will always be maintained at 37 degrees. So if the surrounding we usually will be 27, 38 like that, right? 27, 30, whatever it is. If it is more, then our body will try to cool down by our own process. So what I'm trying to explain by this, that our whole life is based on the fact that heat energy comes from hotter body to colder body. Okay. Then students, in this chapter, we have to study about, the different scales of temperature which we have to use to give the temperature of a body. To say the temperature of the body is this much number, 30, 40, 50, without giving the unit, it is useless, right? So what kind of scales we have to measure temperature, that we have to study. But in order to make a scale of temperature, first thing you need to do is choose one, what property? First you have to choose thermometric property. So while designing any scale of temperature, the first thing you need to choose is thermometric property. What is thermometric property? It is a property of a substance which changes linearly with temperature. It's okay, you don't have to write unless I ask, no need to write, because you should be busy listening to me carefully. You have to be busy listening to me carefully and writing the notes. So thermometric property is that property of a substance which increases linearly with temperature. Three examples I gave you last time. One is volume of the liquid, which is used in liquid in glass thermometers. Then we have pressure of gas at constant volume. And the third one was, this one you tell me, resistance. Resistance of a conductor, remember. The first two we have already understood last class. Today we will try to understand this one, resistance of a conductor. Okay. So in school days you may have heard that if you take a wire and you connect it to a battery, if you take a wire and connect it to a battery, the electrons in the wire will flow, and that constitutes what we call current, right? Now when these electrons are moving in the wire, they collide with the atoms in the wire. They collide. This collision of electrons with the atoms in the wire results in resistance. Understood or not? Give me another word for resistance. Another word for resistance. Any English word? Another way you can express obstruction, you can say opposition, you can say, right? So many words are there. So when these electrons move in the wire, they collide with the atoms present in the wire. And that collision gives rise to resistance. Understood? Now, when temperature is increased, what I told, the atoms in the wire will vibrate more now. Before they were vibrating little, electrons were moving and they were colliding, right? That collision gives rise to resistance. When you increase the temperature, that oscillation, that vibration of the atoms will increase, because of which the electrons will now collide faster than before or slower than before. Faster than before, right? So if you have a wire, there are atoms in the wire, electrons are moving. When you increase the temperature, the atoms will vibrate more. So the electrons will now collide faster. By faster, what do I mean? Before, if the electrons were colliding tuck, tuck, tuck like that, after you increase the temperature, it will be tuck, 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 tuck like that. Are you understanding? So it's like walking in a market where people are there. So imagine you are walking in a market where a lot of people are there. So you keep colliding with them. You keep colliding with them. That collision is what is obstructing your motion. That collision is what we call resistance. But when I increase the temperature, the atoms vibrate more, meaning the people in the market are doing like this now. So when the people in the market were stationary, you were colliding with them, right? Now when they do like this, you will collide more or less. The one who did not understand before, you will collide more. So it is very clear that when you increase the temperature, the resistance also increases. So that is why resistance can be also used to measure temperature. However, students, we are not going to discuss this in our first PU syllabus. Okay. So this is not, we are not going to discuss. However, at least explanation I wanted to give you why resistance is also one of the thermometric property, because resistance of a conductor also increases with increase in temperature. Now we will start making the first scale of temperature. There are many scales. All the scales are not important for our syllabus. The first scale of temperature is also called Celsius scale. So this scale of temperature was made by Celsius, and his idea was whatever I told you. Take a thin tube, glass tube, pour some mercury, then you put this mercury, the glass tube, in contact with melting ice. Whatever the temperature was shown, whatever the level of the mercury was, he marked 0 degrees Celsius. So for melting point of ice, this person took 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, students. Then he kept the same tube with mercury in a boiling water. Then what will happen? The first property, volume will increase. Volume of liquid, I gave you first property. So the volume of the liquid will increase. So the level will be somewhere here, right? So level will be somewhere here. So there he put a mark and he wrote 100 degree. What number he will write there? That is his wish, remember. He can write whatever number he wants. But as a normal human being, it is always nice to start from 0 degree, and the higher point you can take 100 degree. So boiling point of water, he took 100 degree. Okay. Students, these two fixed temperatures are what we call lower fixed point and upper fixed point. Lower fixed point and upper fixed point. So while making a scale, your scale should have starting and ending, no? Hello? When you make a scale, you should have a starting and an ending or not? So the starting is what we call the lower fixed point, the lower scale, and upper fixed point is the wherever up to where you are going to mark the scale, 100 degree. Okay, fine. So this you have to remember. Now in short, what I will write is, I will write like this: LFP is 0 degree and UFP is 100 degree. LFP means lower fixed point, UFP means upper fixed point. So which are the two phenomena Celsius chose? One is melting point of ice for lower fixed point, and one is boiling point of water for upper fixed point. Why? Because as long as your atmospheric pressure remains the same, these two temperatures are fixed. Only when you go to very high heights, or if your cyclone is going to come, let's say, then these temperatures will change. Or if you increase the pressure too much in your pressure cooker, later we will study, okay, don't worry. But when you increase the pressure too much, then this boiling point and all can change. Otherwise, in normal conditions, in what conditions? Normal conditions, these two temperatures are fixed. That is why he has chosen these two phenomena. Fine, students. Okay. Now, another person was there. He felt excited. I think he thought, if Celsius is making, let me also make. So Fahrenheit. Spelling is correct, I think. You can check the spelling. So Fahrenheit also thought, I will also make a scale. What is there? Now he made a scale in which the lower fixed point, which is melting point of ice, was taken to be 32 degree Fahrenheit. 32 degree Fahrenheit. And for upper fixed point, matlab boiling point of water, he chose 212 degree Fahrenheit. So lower fixed point in his scale was 32 degree Fahrenheit, and this was 212 degree Fahrenheit. Now, don't be too happy. Don't think that because this is 32, this is more than 0 degree Celsius. No, 0 degree Celsius means 32 degree Fahrenheit. See, it is because we have changed the unit. No, it is like saying, suppose some of you have height, let's say 1.2 meter. Suppose some of you have height 1.2 meter. If I write in centimeter, how much it will be? 120. Correct, no? Now, by looking at this number, should you be very happy that, see, sir, I'm tall, sir, 120, you are only 1.2, like that? No, because the unit I have changed. So both represent the same length. Similarly, 0 degree Celsius and 32 degree Fahrenheit represents the same temperature. When this was taught to me, I still remember, students, I still remember when this was taught, immediately one question came to my mind, which some of you may be thinking, and that is why Fahrenheit chose this kind of numbers. This is very stupid numbers to choose, no? Very difficult to remember. 32 degree, 212, 0 degree and 100 degree are so easy to remember. Any person with a right mind will choose 0 degree as the starting. Understood. Now concentrate. Misbah, that is what I am discussing. So starting temperature, you would take 0 degree as a normal mind. If you have a normal mind, 32 degree he has chosen. Suddenly 32. And for upper fixed point, he has chosen 212 degree. So this question came to my mind, I remember. When I asked, it was mentioned that it is fixed point. It is taken like this only. So I thought, okay, maybe Fahrenheit took like this, so everybody accepted. So I did not further ask because teacher only told it was taken this way. These are fixed points, she told me, fixed points. So Fahrenheit has chosen 32 degree Fahrenheit. So I have to tell you 32 degree Fahrenheit, right? Then I said, yes, ma'am, correct. But still, no, I had this question in my mind. So it took a lot of time, students, for me, because during those days, internet and all were there, but we all had very less idea how to use it. So much later, I came to know the reason why 32 degree and 212 degree were used. So it took a lot of time for me. Now that is the beauty of education, right? Whatever a person gains knowledge after spending so many months or years, he will give to his students in 5-6 minutes. Correct or not? That is how human civilization gets developed, right? Whatever ideas Copernicus and Kepler had, that was taken by Newton. Then whatever ideas Newton had, that was taken by Einstein. So like that, the civilization gets developed. However, students, any temperature, any number you can use. In US, Fahrenheit is more popular. Okay. So my question is, what I want to do is, I don't want to give the answer immediately. So I want you guys to think today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weekend. So these 2 days, I'm going to give you people also the chance to search why Fahrenheit has chosen these two temperatures. Don't Google and directly search now. Take your time properly, because in Google, all the information will not be correct. Understood or not? So properly you research and see whether you can find the answer. Nowadays, the communication system is very fast. So you people will be able to easily find, I'm sure. But try to do the research. Doing the research, the good thing is what? Doing research, the good thing is, even if you don't get the answer, the process of research, in the process of searching the answer, you will learn many things, even if you don't get the answer which you are searching for. Understood? Okay. So take your time. I want you guys to take your time and think. Yeah, we can make But then if everybody makes their own unit, if everybody makes the, somebody was asking me, sir, then I can also, Pankaj sir also, you make one unit, Saida also make one scale. Like that we can do. But that way, if you do, what will happen? Communication will be difficult. Communication will be difficult. So everybody doesn't make their own unit. I don't say my unit of length will be this much, your unit of length will be this much, like that we don't say. Otherwise, when I come to your shop to buy some clothes, I will say, give me 2 units. You will think in your units and you will give me this much. I was asking this much only because for me, unit of length is this much. For you, unit of length is this much. So there will be communication problem. Are you understanding? So we all cannot decide our own units. Unless you become very powerful or somebody, then one day you can come to the news and say, everyone from today, we will use only Celsius like that, or only my scale like that. Okay. Understood, students? Okay. So once we have learned that, okay, 0 degree Celsius corresponds to 32 degree Fahrenheit and 32 and 100 degree Celsius corresponds to 212 degree Fahrenheit. Once we have understood this, once we have accepted this, we want to relate any other temperature, not only 0 degree Celsius. So suppose I say 20 degree Celsius, how much Fahrenheit it is? So we need to derive a formula. Okay. So write down relation between temperature in Celsius and temperature in Fahrenheit. Let me write this as TC, okay, TC, and this as TL. So I will use small t, students. If you want to use capital T, your wish. So I'm going to derive a relation between temperature in Celsius scale and temperature in Fahrenheit scale. So the trick to derive is like this. What I do is I plot a graph. One side I keep Celsius and one side I keep Fahrenheit. So this is this axis, x-axis, I am using to denote temperature in Celsius. Y-axis I am using to denote temperature in Fahrenheit. Now I know 2 points for which I know the 2 temperatures, right? One is what? 0 degree Celsius corresponds to 32 degree Fahrenheit. 1 point I know in the graph. And another point is 100 degree Celsius corresponds to 212 degree Fahrenheit. So let us mark these points. So 0 degree Celsius means here, right? Yes or no? Fahrenheit is how much? 32 degree. So 32 degree will be here, somewhere here. So this is 32. This point everybody understood, right? Okay. Now 100 degree Celsius, this is TC, this is TL. So when it is 100 degree, let's say here 100 degree, from here to here, okay, from 0 to here, and this much is 100. Then temperature here is 212. Correct or not? So which will be that point? This point. Everybody clear about this? So 2 points in the graph I already know. So this point A corresponds to the lower fixed point of the 2 scales. This point corresponds to the upper fixed point. Till here clear, students? Let me get another pen, okay? Okay, fine. But please be busy writing the notes also, okay? Not only in the chat box. Now, these are the 2 points. Now, I want the scale to be linear, right? So, I will draw a straight line joining these points. This is a straight line joining these 2 points, okay? Now, I will take one random point here, any random point. Let me take anywhere you want. Let me choose here. So for that point, what is the temperature in Celsius? I don't know. TC. What is the temperature in Fahrenheit? I don't know TF. Correct? Now my aim is to find relation between these two. So what I will do, I'll draw this line. And let me call this point as, I don't know, C, D, E. So some construction we have done. Now, if I imagine this angle to be theta, those who know geometry, you can use similar triangles. Those who know trigonometry, you can use tan theta, your wish. So let me calculate tan theta in this triangle. So in triangle ACE, what will be tan theta? In triangle ACE, what will be tan theta? Opposite CE by adjacent AE. Everybody agrees? If you want to use similar triangles also, you can use. CE will be what? Come here. CE is same as this. This is TF, this is 32. So this gap will be how much? TF minus 32. Right? I hope you know that property about scale, right? Any scale, if this number is 8, this number is 2, then this gap is how much? 6. Right? That property of scales you should know. Okay, I know you have used scales in your life. Simply I'm revising for you. And what will be your AE? What will be AE? This is 0. What will be your AE? TC minus 0, right? TC minus 0. You can write TC also, no problem. Similarly, in this big triangle you see, ABD, this big triangle. Let me again calculate tan theta. This time opposite is BD, adjacent is AB. What will be BD? 312 minus 32. Sorry, 212 minus 32. And what will be AB? 100 minus 0. 100 minus 0, right? So if you look at these equations now, equation 1 and 2, both are equal to tan theta or not, left sides, sorry. Both are equal to tan theta or not on the left side. Since the left sides are same, right side also should be same only. Shall I rub the diagram now? Anyone who is drawing the diagram, tell me, no sir, I'm drawing like that. So I'll rub the diagram because I need some space. Okay. Finish it. Quickly finish it now, please. One more thing, students. Tan if you use, then you will get the answers. No, sine if you use, this will come. This you don't want. You have to do what you need. You have to do what you need. That is how science or mathematics is done. No, if you use sine, then hypotenuse will come. Then again, hypotenuse you will have to write root over adjacent square plus opposite square. Why to take so much headache? Cot also you can use, correct. Okay, one more thing I want to say, since most of the students are now present. First is come on time. Today when I joined the class, only 102 students were there. Now 133 are there, which means some of you are joining late. So try to join on time, first thing. Second thing, yesterday many students asked for me for video. So please share the video, this happened, that happened. Now I understand, sometimes internet connection will be weak. Sometimes this and that will happen. But every time I will not share the video. Third thing is, if I share the video and if you watch the video once more, it is a waste of time or not, students? You have to watch in the regular time so that time you can use for revision and solving more problems. So if you miss the class unnecessarily, then what will happen? Later, when others are doing revision, when others are solving more problems, MCQ problems, you will be seeing the video only. So that is one wastage of time which I don't want you guys to do. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now you can see left sides are same from equation 1 and 2. So from 1 and 2, we can see that these left sides are same. So I can write TF minus 32 divided by TC. Right side also should be same, should be equal to 212 minus 32 will be what? 212 minus 32, 0, 8, 1, right? So 180 divided by 100. Correct now? So if you try to solve this, 0, 0 will cancel, 2 9s are, 2 5s are. So TF minus 32 by TC is equals to 9 by 5. Then you can cross multiply. So if you cross multiply, you will get TF minus 32 equals to 9 by 5 TC. So TF will be 9 by 5 TC plus 32. So this formula can be used. This formula can be used to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit. Okay, write fast. You should write. Spend more time in writing the notes. Okay. Done, no? Okay. So let us check some questions. Let us do. When TC is 37 degree, 37 I have taken because that is the normal body temperature. What would be Fahrenheit? Try to calculate. Put 37 here and try to calculate. TF will be how much? That question they may ask. So answer will be what? TF will be 9 by 5 TC plus 32. Temperature in Celsius that they have given is 37 plus 32. 98.6. I have seen many students will add these two first. First you should multiply, then you should add. So first multiply students, then you add. How much it comes? 98.6. You can use calculator for this kind of calculations. Okay, in board exam, calculator is allowed. Yeah, check the formula carefully, Channa. Do the calculations, divisions and all properly. Now I cannot teach divisions and all. Finished? Okay. Now there is a very interesting temperature which you should try. TC equal to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is possible. If you go to my place, you will get minus 3 degree, minus 2 degree during winters. Okay. So try for this one. Channa, how much you are getting for this one? Use this formula. minus 40, right? So you can check once. TF will be 9 by 5 minus 40 plus 32. So your 5 8s will be 40 minus 72 plus 32 minus 72 plus 32. So this is a very important question for your entrance exam. They may ask you for which temperature both Celsius and Fahrenheit will give you same answer. And the answer is minus 40 degree. So minus 40 degree will be same for both. Do the division. No, 160 by 5 you do. Array. Fine, students. Everybody understood this part? Please follow the class. With the class you have to go. Otherwise you lag behind. Okay. So like this, any other temperature if I give, you should be able to do. Now, as somebody was saying, sir, in this way, we can make our own scale. Yes, you can make your own scale also. Why don't you make it and share with everybody? Okay. So you can make your own scale also. So there is a general formula to convert, let us say, Pankaj sir's scale to Celsius scale. There is a general formula to convert, let's say, Kirtana's scale. If there is anyone Kirtana, second PU, one student is there. Kirtana's scale to let's say Pankaj sir's scale, or Kirtana's scale to Celsius scale. One general formula is there. So I will give you general formula which comes from whatever we have done. So first let me remind you what formula we got. We got a formula which was something like this. Can you tell me what was that first tan theta? First tan theta, how much we got? Check notes once. I rubbed it, so I forgot. TF minus 32 by C. TF minus 32 by TC. And what was the other tan theta? I think other one. No. You people are giving me wrong. 300. No. No, I got equation 1, equation 2. No. So this was TF minus 32. Let me remind you once. I should have noted it down. The graph was like this, right? So I took 1 point here, 212, sorry, 100, here 0. This was 32, this was 212. Then I took 1 point, this was TC, this was TF. Then I made a triangle. From this triangle, your opposite was TF minus 32 by TC, correct? Oh, sorry, correct only. And this one was 212 minus 32 by 100. Yeah. Correct only, you were correct only. Okay. So what I will do now, using this formula, I will try to create one general formula. General matlab you can use from one scale to any other scale, your wish. But let me write minus 0. It was actually minus 0, correct? No? Okay, now look here. So by rearrange, I will do TF minus 32 by 212 minus 32 equals to TC minus 0 by 100. And this was also 100 minus 0 actually. Clear, students, this one? Just I have cross multiplied. Okay. So now see one. Okay, write down these notes. General formula to convert temperature from one scale to another scale. General formula to convert temperature from one scale to another scale. Now look here. What is this TF? TF is the temperature in one scale, Fahrenheit scale. Let us consider Fahrenheit as one scale, Celsius as another scale. So TF is temperature in one scale. So let me write that as T. T is temperature in one scale. Minus. What is this? This is the lower fixed point. Lower fixed point in Fahrenheit scale, agree or not? So lower fixed point in the first scale. Let me write T1, no problem. So T1 is the temperature in the first scale. What is 212? Upper fixed point in Fahrenheit scale. In first scale minus, what is this? Lower fixed point in the first scale. Here what will I write? Tc. What is Tc? Temperature in the other scale. T2 minus, what is 0? Lower fixed point in Celsius scale. So lower fixed point in the second scale divided by upper fixed point. 100 is upper fixed point minus lower fixed point. Okay. This is more important for entrance. So this is one general formula which you can use to convert temperature of one in one scale to temperature in another scale. What you must be given? What you must be given? Lower fixed point and upper fixed point in the two scales. Agree or not? You must be given lower fixed point and upper fixed point in the two scales. Once that is given, you can easily use this formula to convert temperature from one scale to another scale or from another scale to one scale. Make a note. This derivation you don't have to do, just you derive it directly from here. That will be easier for us. Noted, right? Okay. So let's do one numerical based on this. Okay. Okay. Right fast, Sumuka. See, everybody will not write at the same pace. So others who are writing fast, you should give time to others also. Sumuka, done? We are waiting for you. In class also it happens usually when I teach. Some students will say, sir, wait, sir, like that. Okay. But everybody will be writing. No one will be wasting that time. If they are wasting and they tell me to wait, then I get angry. Okay. So let us solve one nice problem based on this new formula which I have derived. So look here. Question. A faulty thermometer faulty thermometer faulty means what? Some defect is there. Somebody while marking has not put the mark properly. Understanding or not? So a faulty thermometer shows 2 degree when for melting point of ice. So when you put this thermometer in melting point of ice, it is showing you 2 degrees Celsius. It is showing you 2 degrees Celsius. It is a Celsius marked. Okay, Celsius it is marked. But when you put in the melting point of when you put it in melting ice, instead of showing 0 degree, what it is showing you? 2 degree. Understood this much? Boiling point, no problem. Boiling point is fine, let's say. If they don't inform you about boiling point, then it means boiling point is shown correctly. But melting point is not shown correctly. That is why I use the word faulty thermometer. Understood, students, till now? Question? Okay. So the question is, if this thermometer shows 30 degrees Celsius, what is the correct temperature in Celsius scale. So let us try to solve. Okay. So let us try to solve it using our formula. Which formula? The formula that converts one scale to another scale. Here, which are the two scales? Can you guess? Which are the two scales? In this problem, which are the two scales? Very good. One is the faulty scale and one is the Celsius scale. So let us write formula T1 minus lower fixed point in first scale. Let me write this as C. So C I will use for Celsius scale, okay? And upper fixed point of Celsius minus lower fixed point of Celsius is equal to T small f. Let me write. Small f is used for what here? But what name? Why I use small f only? Faulty, okay? So this small f you should remember is the faulty scale. Faulty scale, not Fahrenheit, otherwise you'll get confused. Minus lower fixed point in faulty scale divided by upper fixed point in faulty scale minus lower fixed point in faulty scale. Now students, with time, know what will happen? With time, you will be remembering this formula in your head. So directly you will substitute in the entrance exam. In entrance exam, you will not waste your time writing the formula. But this is the first problem we are doing, so better to write formula. Now, temperature in Celsius scale, we want the correct temperature. So this we want. What is the lower fixed point in Celsius scale? 0. Correct na? What is the upper fixed point in Celsius scale? 100. Correct na? Lower fixed point in Celsius scale? 0. What is the temperature shown by the faulty scale? What is the temperature shown by the faulty scale? No. Hey, that is for 0 degree ma. Are Rama. Which temperature we are trying to convert? Which temperature we are trying to convert? This one. So it is 30. What is lower fixed point of the faulty scale? The faulty scale is showing 2 as melting point. Faulty scale is showing 2 as the melting point of ice. So that is the lower fixed point of faulty scale. Upper fixed point they did not mention. So we will assume it is showing correctly. Arey Kishan brother, marking has been done wrongly, ma. It is not shifted. Why are you thinking it is shifted? It is not shifted. Marking has been done wrongly. So instead of writing 0 degree, he has written 2 degree. Whoever has done that mistake. So now we have to convert. So upper fixed point, boiling point is correct only. So this is 100 only. Minus lower fixed point of faulty scale is 2. So now you take out your calculator and try to solve. No, I will advise you to do without calculator. Because this can come in entrance also. So TC by 100 equals 28 by 98. So TC will be 100 into 28 by 98. How much it comes? Try. You can divide by 2, 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18, like that. Exactly you tell. Right, 28 you will not get. Who is saying 28? 28 from the start he is saying 28.57. So 28 will also be there in the option. Many students will take 28. Many students will take 28. Are you understanding? Yes or no? So be careful about this. Why it will not be shifted? Because 100 degree did not shift. No, 100 degree was there only. So basically students, what has happened is by marking it wrongly, he has created a new scale. That person's name, let us call him Pankaj only. So for that person, the lower fixed point he has chosen 2, upper fixed point he has chosen 100. One girl was saying, no, that I can, then I will only make my own unit, sir, scale. So it became, the faulty scale became lower fixed point 2, upper fixed point 100. Why 100 I assume? Because no information was given. Understood, students, now? Yes or no? Okay. Channa, what is your question? Can you ask once more? Very sir. So many said yes, sir. No, I missed the question. Students, stop typing for some time. I want to read Channa's question. Channa, type once more, please, and let it be public so that everybody can see. So understood this problem. One more, one you will try yourself. Okay. In exam, there will not be two correct options. Two correct options will not be there unless you are writing JEE advanced question. If you are writing JEE advanced question, then there may be more than one correct option. But in CET, NEET, JEE exam, only one option will be correct. Question. Pankaj sir, sir you write, okay. Made a scale with melting point of ice as my favorite number is 5 degree, Pankaj, and boiling point of water as how much? 95 degrees. If his thermometer reads 10 degree, what will be the reading in Celsius scale? At home, you make Celsius Fahrenheit and try once more. So try everyone. Don't see this side, okay? Try to do yourself. My temperature, Pankaj, minus lower fixed point 5, upper fixed point. I should not talk also. Into Celsius. Don't see this side. Are you can give it fraction also. Fraction also, no problem. Water is commonly available. Advait, if I take carbon tetrachloride, it may be difficult for other people to make the scale. Coca-Cola, if you take some countries, Coca-Cola is banned. So water seems to be a good substance to decide the lower fixed point and upper fixed point. Okay, fine. 50 by 9 is it the answer? Okay, fine. See, you have to choose phenomenon which are readily available for others also to make. You cannot choose any phenomenon you want. Suppose you choose a phenomenon like Pankaj sir's body temperature. Now, other people, if you want to make that scale, you have to come to me and put thermometer on my body and check. That is one problem. Second problem, my body temperature may fluctuate depending on whether I'm having fever or not. So you should not choose fixed point. For lower fixed point and upper fixed point, you should not choose some phenomenon which keeps on changing. Understanding, students? It has to be fixed point. Of course, I know even melting point of ice changes with pressure, but that's why I told at normal pressure, people live usually on a normal day, right? Most of the days will be normal. So that is why we have chosen these two phenomenon as lower fixed point and upper fixed point. Okay. Now, the other kind of scale which is very, very important for physicists, the other scale which is very important for physicists is something called Kelvin scale. But before I talk about Kelvin scale, we need to discuss about the relationship between pressure and temperature of a gas when you keep the volume constant. And for that, I need to talk little bit about a particular kind of gas called ideal gas, which I will be teaching to you in the third chapter. Third chapter matlab 9th, 10th, 11th chapter, which is what chapter I told? KTG. KTG. What is KTG? Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gama. No, KTG means kinetic theory of gases. So in that chapter, students, we will study about Boyle's law, Charles law, Gay-Lussac's law, ideal gas, many things we will study. You may have learned, but in physics you have not learned, no, Shanmukh. So we will just learn quickly about what is an ideal gas, okay, and then we will continue. Okay, no one will answer. Shanmukh, what is ideal gas? No one should answer. If your name is Shanmukh, then you answer. Right, don't open chemistry notes book. It will take time to type, I know. Let me wait for 1 minute. Which obeys ideal gas equation, no? Okay, fine. But then my next question, no, if you say like this, my next question will be what is ideal gas equation? So the best way to say what is ideal gas is, listen carefully all of you. It is a gas in which the intermolecular forces is zero. Matlab, it is a gas in which the attraction between the molecules, the force between the molecules is taken to be zero, is zero. Okay, so this is the meaning of an ideal gas. So what is an ideal gas? It is a gas in which the intermolecular force, let me write because I wrote is, right? Force is zero. Now, do you think it is true? Do you think this is true? It is correct. 100% true. Yes, sir. Huh? No, sir. It is hypothetical. Only at one temperature, sir. Okay. No, let me answer all of you. It is not 100% true. It is not 100% true. That is why we write what? Ideal. Ideal teacher is there? No, Pankaj sir is not ideal. Ideal student is there? No, ideal student is not there. Ideal country is there? No, so many mistakes will be done. So ideal things do not exist. But why we are assuming then they exist? We are assuming so that the mathematics of the theory will be simpler. Initially, students, you want to study very complicated maths or easy maths initially. You want to start with directly very complicated maths of tensor calculus and all. No, easy, right? So to make the mathematics easy, you have to do certain assumption. You have to do certain, understood. Now listen carefully. You have to do certain assumption. And one of the assumption we do while studying molecules of the gas, while studying gas behavior, is the molecules do not interact. Later, you can assume it interacts and make it more complicated. But at the start, you want to make it as simple as possible. So what is ideal gas? It is a gas in which intermolecular force is zero. It is not 100% true. If it was 100% true, you will not be able to eat ice cream only. You will not be able to eat ice cream. Why? Because if the gas molecules do not attract, then when you decrease the temperature, why will they come closer? Because they attract. When you decrease the temperature, they come nearby. When they come nearby, because of the attraction, they become liquid. Then they become solid. Matlab, in case of water, the solid is called what? Ice. Understood or not, students? So it is very important to remember that though we are assuming this kind of gas, it is not 100% true. Next, we should know, when does a gas behave more like ideal gas? Okay. So first you write this much you have written. And please don't write extra things. I don't want extra things. Only when I ask you answer. So when does a gas behave like ideal gas? More and more closer. Exactly, so I told you it is never possible. More and more closer to ideal gas. So when the density of a gas is very less. Okay, when the density of the gas is very less, we can treat it to behave more like ideal gas. Understood? So when the density of a gas is very less, we can treat it to behave more like ideal gas. And for that to happen, what you need? More temperature and less pressure. Important for your entrance exams also. By the way, students, whenever I write this, no, it means it is important for entrance also, entrance exams. So more temperature and less pressure. Why it is like that? If the temperature is more, then there is more chances of it to be like gas. No, if temperature is very less, it will behave like liquid or solid. Yes or no, students? If temperature is very less, it will behave more like liquid or gas. Liquid and solid. In liquid and solid, can I assume there is no intermolecular force of attraction between this atom of Pankaj sir and this atom of Pankaj sir? Is there no attraction? If there was no attraction, then if you do foo like this, it will just break, no? Understood or not? So all my atoms are bonded to each other strongly because I am solid. So in solid and liquid, so 100% there will be attraction. In gases, the attraction will be very weak. And if you increase the temperature and decrease the pressure, why? If you decrease the pressure, it means the molecules will be farther from each other. If you increase the pressure, molecules will be very close. So if they are very close, attraction chances will be there or not? It will be there. The force of attraction will be there now. Yeah, Nikita. See, if temperature is more, listen carefully, ma. If temperature is more, the substance will more be, nobody will answer, only Likita. If temperature is more, the substance will behave more like solid or gas. If temperature is high, it has chances of becoming more gas or more solid. Gas. No, Shifa, why are you answering? I'm asking to one specific girl, no? Are Rama. Gas. See, Likita, I told. Everybody's name is Likita in the class. So when you increase the temperature, the molecules, because of the random motion, they will be more and more farther from each other. The more they are far from each other, the more they will behave like ideal gas. Why? If they are very close, attraction will be strong. If they are very far, attraction will be weak. So the farther they are from each other, the more it will behave like ideal gas. The farther they are from each other, the more they behave like ideal gas. And how to make sure that they stay far from each other? Increase the temperature, decrease the pressure, or decrease the density. So decreasing the pressure means you allow the molecules to roam more freely far from each other. Increasing the pressure means what? Bringing all the molecules closer. Then though there is no chance of saying they will not attract. So for ideal gas students, which has this property which I told, the intermolecular forces are neglected. In such cases, there is a nice relationship between pressure temperature and volume, and that relationship is called ideal gas equation, which is given by this formula: PV equal to nRT. PV equal to nRT. Now forget about this right now. When I will teach KTG, I will talk about this. Forget about this right now. But in this equation, concentrate one thing. If volume is kept constant, then this pressure will be proportional to temperature. Agree or not? If volume is kept constant, pressure will be proportional to temperature. Everybody agree, right? Okay. Make a note. This part you don't concentrate right now. I just want you to know this. Before also, I think I've explained this. No, yesterday also I've explained this part. Correct? No. Yesterday also I've explained this. Okay. So what we'll try to do is we'll take a gas, because this law is true for gases only. Don't take liquids or solids. Take some gas and do an experiment to see how pressure changes with temperature. But right now, till this topic has done, we have read about Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale, right? Celsius scale is more common. So we will write temperature in Celsius. So we want to plot a graph. Okay, so let me write the topic: pressure temperature graph for an ideal gas. Okay. Now, at this temperature, what is this temperature? 0 degree Celsius, because this scale I am using as Celsius right now. Because till now we have learned about Celsius, no? So I'll plot here Celsius. So at 0 degree Celsius, the gas will be gas only, do you think, or it will be liquid or ice, or sorry, solid? Remember, I did not take water vapor, gas, some liquid hydrogen, imagine some hydrogen gas or nitrogen gas. So at 0 degree Celsius, do you think nitrogen gas or oxygen gas will be liquid state, solid state, or gas state only? It will be gas state only. Now listen carefully for this. Let me explain to others also. Some of you know very good. Listen carefully. Most of my students know, when I was teaching this, listen carefully, stop writing for some time. Stop writing for some time. Most of my students, when I ask at 0 degrees Celsius, what will be the state of the substance? Solid, liquid, or gas? Almost all of them used to say solid, sir, like that. And if I ask why you think solid, they will think ice. No, like that. Are Baba, ice is for water. Water vapor if you take and you keep decreasing the temperature, then when it becomes 0 degree, then it starts becoming ice. I'm not talking water as such. I'm talking about hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, right? So it can be gas also, right? Nitrogen, helium can be gas at 0 degrees Celsius. In fact, if you try to Google and find out what is the liquefying temperature of nitrogen or oxygen, it is much below 0 degrees Celsius. So some minus 100 degree like that when you reach, that time these gases will start becoming liquid. When you reach minus 192, thank you Sumukha. So for nitrogen, the liquefying temperature, I'm not saying solidifying temperature. Liquefying, matlab the temperature at which gas becomes liquid. At the temperature at which gas becomes liquid. For most of the gases that we have in our daily life, those are much below 0 degrees Celsius. So when your temperature goes to the negative side, then the liquid starts becoming, sorry, the gas starts becoming liquid. So the first thing I want all of you to understand is at 0 degrees Celsius also, many gases are there, many substances are there, which will stay as gas. At 0 degrees Celsius also, there will be many substances which will stay as gas. Okay? If yes, I'll continue. Of course, for water, if you take water vapor, if you take, then it is a different story. So I'm not talking only about the water vapor. Okay. So even at 0 degrees Celsius, listen carefully. Even at 0 degrees Celsius, my substance is in gaseous state. So the molecules are moving around randomly. So they will hit the walls. Bang, 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 bang. So they exert some force. So if they exert some force, they will exert pressure. Agree or not? Yesterday I told. So even at 0 degrees Celsius, there will be some pressure. Matlab, the y coordinate. This is your y-axis, no? So your graph should start from here. To explain only this, no, I have done so much of work that the graph should not start from here. Graph should not start from here. Graph should start from here. You understood everybody why? If it starts from here, what does it mean? At 0 degrees Celsius, pressure is 0. How pressure is 0? Because molecules are still hitting the wall. Molecules are still hitting the wall. Understood? Okay. The graph should not start from origin. So graph should start from here. And then we know as temperature increases, pressure also increases. So the graph will go like this. So this is the graph of pressure versus temperature. Now see something very interesting. Stop typing in the chat box now. Concentrate. What if I decrease the temperature? Then my graph will come down. Further decrease. After some time it will become liquid. Then though this law I cannot apply, but I can still extend the graph. So if I keep decreasing the temperature, after some point, you will not be able to plot the graph because the gas will no longer be gas. However, if you imagine that suppose they acted like gas only, then how would the pressure decrease? The pressure would decrease like this. And somewhere here, and somewhere here, the pressure became how much here? What is the pressure here? 0. Why? Because this point is on which axis? This point is on x-axis. And any point on x-axis will have 0 y coordinate. So here, your y coordinate, matlab pressure is 0. And that temperature people have found experimentally. It was minus 273.15 degree Celsius. Because it's Celsius. So this temperature at which the pressure became 0 was found to be experimentally minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now for most calculation students, we will ignore this 15. We will ignore. We will write minus 273 degrees Celsius. Or you don't know, nowadays people have achieved temperatures which are almost touching minus 273. See, I'm not saying you have to achieve. You plot up to here. You plot from here onwards. Abhigna, you plot from here onwards. So you will plot. After getting the pressure and temperature, you will get these points. Then join these points. Then after that, I know you may not be able to achieve low temperatures, but no one can stop you from drawing this line, no? Can I stop you from drawing this line? Yes or no? I can continue this theoretically. Theoretically, I can continue. Yes, it may be purely imaginable, but it is based on experiment, no? This experiment was also imagination. Abhigna, this experiment was also imagination. The points which I got, that is not imagination. That I can measure temperature also, pressure also. Pressure is measured by an instrument called manometer, which we have to teach in later chapter. So this part is not imagination, right? So I'm just continuing this one. And those who are thinking that such low temperatures are not possible, you will not believe. Just Google and learn. You will find that people are nowadays touching almost minus 272, like that. Almost here they are reaching. Okay, so it is very much possible with today's technology that we can reach very, very low temperatures. Very, very low temperatures. Okay. If some doubt is there, please call me. Okay, no problem. Okay, now listen to me, all of you. So what did you find at this temperature? At temperature minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, pressure of the gas should become 0. What does it mean for these molecules? As temperature is decreasing, before they were hitting like this, no? Then as temperature decreases, they are hitting like this. And when finally you reach this temperature, pressure became how much, students? 0. So now will it hit anymore? Will it hit the wall? Will it hit the wall? I'm asking. No. Matlab molecular motion has stopped. So at this temperature, molecular motion stops. Molecular motion will stop. Now tell me, can I make you move slower than at rest? Before you are moving like this. Now I am decreasing the temperature. So you slow down, you slow down, you slow down, you slow down, you stop. Now can I decrease your motion less than stop? Less than stop, how will I make you move? Less than stop, how will I make you move, ma? Not possible. That means below this the pressure cannot go. Below 0 the pressure cannot go. Below 0. Less than 0 the pressure cannot go. That means below this there cannot be any temperature. Understood? Below this there cannot be any temperature. So one nice fact we have found. And the fact that we have learned is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius is the minimum temperature, smallest temperature possible in nature. So if somebody writes, I got this much temperature, then it is nonsense. You cannot go less than this here. Only for gas, matlab, once you keep decreasing the temperature, this will be true for any substance? No, because if it is solid, then though it will not exert pressure only. Stalin, if it is solid or liquid, it will not hit the walls. No, solid will go and hit the walls or what? You guys are not understanding my point, ma. Solid molecules will not go up and hit. No, if I put pen on a container, the atoms of the pen do not go and hit the wall. So this is true for gases, I know, but that can be true for in nature, because if by behaving like gases only, see this line means what? This line means what? You are assuming that it remains gas. Even by assuming that it remains gas, it is not going to hit the walls once you reach this temperature. Understood now? Even by assuming gas theoretically also, even by assuming theoretically also that it is gas, it will not hit the walls once you reach this temperature. Solid, so no chance there it will hit the walls. Understood, students? Okay, fine, very good. So the point is, after doing all this analysis, what we found is this is the smallest temperature in the universe. Then one person, one scientist called Kelvin, he came and he thought, let me make a scale of temperature whose starting point, whose lower fixed point will be taken to be this one. Why? Because this is the smallest temperature. So he took in his scale, the zero of his scale was taken to be this much. And that is why the zero in Kelvin scale, which matches with this number in Celsius, that lowest temperature in his scale, he called it 0 Kelvin. What Kelvin? 0 Kelvin, which is called absolute zero. What is the meaning of absolute? Absolute means what? Pakka. Pakka zero it is. Pakka. Matlab there is nothing less than that. There is nothing less than that. In Kannada, what do you say? Absolute. Anyways, so the point is, you will not get any temperature below this temperature. That is why he considered, this was known to everybody during that time. So this, during that time only we are discussing. No, when you are thinking, this is not modern physics. We are not discussing, these things are not done yesterday or day before yesterday. This was done long back. The time scale historical study I'm not doing. I'm presenting physics to you as a conceptual subject, so that you understand the concept. Historically, if you want to read, you can always read books and all to find the history. Every time we cannot speak about that. Okay. So Kelvin, he decided to choose this temperature as the smallest temperature in his scale. And that is what we call, what Kelvin? That is what we call, what Kelvin it is? 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin. After the last 5 minutes, I want to talk to all of you regarding something, okay? So, if they ask you what is Kelvin scale, then it is a scale in which it is a scale in which the starting point means lower fixed point, was chosen to be minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Okay, and in his scale, this number he expressed as 0 Kelvin. So 0 Kelvin equals minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Then they may also ask you what is absolute zero. There are many ways to define. Absolute means pakka zero, remember. Matlab less than 0 Kelvin you will not get. 0 degree Celsius is pakka zero. Less than this you don't get temperature. Less than 0 degree Celsius you get or you don't get? You get. You go to my place Shillong, you will get on winters you will get temperature -5 degrees Celsius, -2 degrees Celsius also. So 0 degree Celsius is not pakka zero, but 0 Kelvin is pakka, absolutely zero. Below that you cannot have any temperature. Below that you cannot have any temperature. So what is absolute zero? It is the temperature at which molecular motion ceases. Ceases means stops. Some people write ceases. Students, I will tell you now only. Later in life, you will study more physics. So when you will study quantum mechanics, that time you will come to know this is not 100% right. Okay. But for the time being, this is what we have to study. I will tell you now only so that later, no, when you study higher physics, if your teacher says that at absolute zero also, there is some little motion according to quantum mechanics, but then you people will ceases. C-E-A-S-E-S. Ceases matlab it stops. So later when you study quantum mechanics, I don't want you to think that Are Pankaj sir told at absolute zero motion will stop. But now my sir is telling there will be little motion according to quantum mechanics, which we don't have to study right now. For our purpose, this is fact right now. See, physics, like any other science, keeps getting better. No. So you have to understand things keep changing. Okay, students. So last thing I will tell you is conversion from Celsius to Kelvin. Very simple formula. Conversion from Celsius to Kelvin. Okay. So if they give you temperature in Kelvin scale, let's say some temperature, then how to make it into Celsius scale? If they give you temperature in Celsius scale, you have to subtract -273. Okay. For example, if this is 0, you know this should be how much? If this is 0 Kelvin, 0 Kelvin should be how much Celsius? -273. Nah? So that is. This 0.5 you can write, but for most calculation, we will not write. So this formula we will be using. You can always interchange and write temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to Celsius plus 273. Okay. Homework you do, and the homework should be submitted in the group. Once 2 or 3 people submit, others can stop. No, Charles law and other things I don't want to discuss Neha right now. Charles law will come much later in physics. With yesterday's explanation, I have already explained to you pressure is directly proportional to temperature. That is called Gay-Lussac's law. But I don't want to put names right now. Later we have to study anyways, right? But I gave you the understanding, no, why pressure is proportional to temperature if you keep volume constant. Remember that boxing example I gave. So your homework. Now, once 2-3 people submit and I say it is correct in the group, everybody should not submit the homework. Once 2-3 people submit, others can check whether whatever I have told, is it correct or not. If it is correct, you can just compare. And you can mention to me if you want, sir, I have done like that. So homework is conversion from Fahrenheit to Kelvin scale. Very simple homework I have given you. I will check next class, don't worry. So this is the formula from Kelvin to Celsius. I want from Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Okay. Okay. Chalo. Take care all of you. Bye. Anybody who has doubt, you can call me. Okay. Give a call to me.